Hello there and welcome. Are you a professional in the UK? Do you pay that annual fee to keep your registration or membership active? Well, what if I told you that you could get a chunk of that money straight back from HMRC? Let's dive in and find out exactly how. Yeah, you heard that right. That fee, you know, the one that goes to the NMC or the HCPC or whatever professional body you're a part of, it could actually mean you're owed a tax refund. And we're going to show you precisely how it all works. And you can be sure you're in good hands here. This whole guide has been put together by the experts at Pro Tax Accountant. They're a top-tier accounting firm in the UK, and they specialize in helping people just like you get to grips with the tax system. So, here's what we're going to cover. We'll start with the 3 absolute must-haves, what we're calling the golden rules. Then, we'll look at how things work for employees versus the self-employed, because it's a bit different. We'll also flag some common mistakes so you don't fall into any traps, and then wrap up with a step-by-step on how to actually get your cash back. Okay, let's get right into it, starting with the real basics. Before you even think about claiming, you have to pass this first test, the 3 golden rules. You've got to tick all 3 of these boxes. If you don't, then I'm afraid you won't be able to make a claim. So what are they? Rule number 1. You and only you paid the fee from your own pocket. If your boss paid it or gave you the money back for it, this won't apply. Rule 2. The fee has to be essential for your job, not just helpful but genuinely necessary. And Rule 3, and this one's a biggie, the organization you pay has to be on HMRC's official approved list. So, what does this look like in real money? Well, let's take an example. For the 2025/26 tax year, the annual fee for the Health and Care Professions Council, the HCPC, is £123.34. If you're a basic rate taxpayer paying 20% tax, you could claim back £24.67 on that one payment. Now, it might not sound like winning the lottery, but it's your money, and over the years, it really does add up. And here's a pro tip that can make a huge difference. You can actually backdate your claim for the last 4 tax years. Just think about that for a second. If you've never done this before, you could be due a single, pretty significant rebate from HMRC to cover all those years. It is absolutely worth looking into. All right, so you've ticked the boxes for the 3 golden rules. Brilliant! The next thing we need to figure out is how the claim works, because it's a bit different if you're an employee on payee compared to being self-employed. So stay with me, because getting this part right is absolutely key. Let's break it down. For employees, the relief works by reducing the amount of your income that you pay tax on. Simple as that. You might get a refund, or maybe they'll just adjust your tax code for the future. But for the self-employed, it's a whole different game. You treat the fee as an allowable business expense. This means you subtract it from your total income, which lowers your profits and, you guessed it, lowers your tax bill. 2 different paths, but they lead to the same great destination, paying less tax. Digging a little deeper for the employees here, it really all hinges on who's footing the bill. If your company pays the fee to an approved organization for you, that's great, but you can't claim anything. However, if you pay it yourself, that's your green light to claim tax relief. But just be careful. If your employer pays for a membership to a body that isn't on the approved list, HMRC sees that as a perk, kind of like extra salary, and you'll have to pay tax on it. Now, I've mentioned these approved lists a few times. So what are they? Well, HMRC has 2 of them. The first is for jobs where you legally have to be a member to even practice. Think doctors, architects, that kind of thing. The second and much, much bigger list is called List 3. It covers thousands of other professional bodies that HMRC agrees are relevant. You can find List 3 right on the gov.uk website, and you absolutely must check if your organization is on it. Okay, now for all the freelancers, sole traders, and small business owners out there, whether you're in London or anywhere else in the UK. Let's switch over to your side of the story. For you, this isn't about some fiddly tax code adjustment. This is about directly cutting down the profit your business gets taxed on. It's a really fundamental part of smart business finance. This little chart here makes it super clear. Let's say your business turnover for the year is £40,000, and your allowable expenses, which would include your professional fee plus other running costs, come to £10,000. You simply subtract those expenses from your turnover, which means HMRC only taxes you on the £30,000 that's left. See? Your professional fee plays a small but important role in that calculation. And hey, here's another quick tip. While we're talking about allowable expenses, don't forget it's not just about your professional membership. If you're self-employed, you should also be looking at claiming for things like professional indemnity insurance, any training courses you do, your office costs, and even a slice of your home utility bills if you work from home. Every little bit helps.
Right, so we've covered the rules and the two different routes for claiming, but that's not all. Here's where a lot of people trip up. Let's take a look at the most common mistakes so you can make sure your claim goes through without a hitch. And don't just take my word for it. This quote is pulled directly from the gov.uk website. It couldn't be clearer. Life memberships are out, and any fee you didn't personally pay for is also out. These aren't gray areas. They're hard and fast rules. So just to be crystal clear, here's the do not claim list. Life membership fees, that's a no. Those one-off joining or entrance fees you paid when you first signed up, nope, can't claim those either. It's only for the recurring annual fee. Obviously, any fees to an organization that's not on the approved list. And finally, those little admin-type fees for applications or readmissions are also not eligible.
Okay, you've checked the rules, you've avoided the common mistakes, and you're pretty sure you're eligible. Now for the best part, actually getting your hands on the money. Let's walk through the final process. It really boils down to 4 simple steps. First, just one last check that you meet all 3 golden rules. Second, get your paperwork together. This is so important. You need receipts or bank statements as proof of payment for every single year you're claiming for. Third, choose the right way to make your claim. And finally, step 4, submit everything and then just wait for that lovely tax code change or a refund to land in your account. So how do you actually do the submitting? Well, if you're an employee and you don't do a tax return, the easiest way is probably HMRC's online service. If you're self-employed or you already do self-assessment, you must claim it on your tax return. For employees who can't get online, there's still a paper form called a P87. And sometimes, if it's a simple repeat claim, you might even be able to sort it with a quick phone call. Now here is a really important number for all employees to keep in mind. If your total work-related expenses in one tax year, and that's not just your fees, that's everything, comes to more than £2,500, you have to register for self-assessment and file a tax return. You can't use the simple online form or the P87 if your claim is above that amount. Phew, we have covered a lot of ground, so let's just quickly pull together the absolute key takeaways and wrap up with a little bit of expert advice. But first, I have to say this, and it's very important. The information we've gone through today is for general guidance only. Please don't rely on it exclusively to make decisions. Tax rules can be really complex, and everyone's situation is unique. So what's the bottom line? If you're feeling at all unsure or you just want to make absolutely certain you're claiming everything you're entitled to, you really should speak to an expert. Before making any decisions, we highly recommend getting in touch with the team at Pro Tax Accountant. They can give you tailored advice on this and any other tax questions you have. You can reach them on WhatsApp or give them a call on 07985 689912 or just drop an email to info@protaxaccountant.co.uk. Thanks so much for joining me.